In this video, we're going to take a look at the Hallsville Baptist Church website, and we're going to show you how to make edits and updates to the site. So we'll start with logging in, and in order to log in, you'll just add /wp-admin to the end of your URL, and that'll take you to a login screen. I've already logged in before this, so it'll take you to a login screen, and you'll put in your username and password that you were given at the time of launch. If you can't find that or you need help finding that, just let us know, and we can get that to you. But basically, once you get logged in, the most important things are what falls in this black sidebar, and we're just going to go down through each item that's pertinent, that has items that you want to be able to update on your site, and walk you through how to do each one. So we'll start with updates. These are plugins, themes on your site that can be updated. We take care of this for you, so you actually never have to worry about this at all if you don't want to. We're going to skip over a couple things, and then I'm going to go down to events here, and this is where your event calendar is housed, and all the events that you would add or adjust are on here. So you can click any of the events to edit them, and so if I click into them, I can change the label, the time, the description. So you've got your label, you've got your description here, you've got the time, location, organizers, website, anything you would need to add. And anytime you would make an edit or adjustment, you would just click update. And anytime you would add a new event, you would click add new here, or you could click add new over here. And that's kind of the same for most of the things on the calendar. So in order to add something, you would give it a title. You would set the date, the start and end time and date. So you can select a date and a time. You can find a venue. You can add a venue through here. And you can add a website if you want, or an event cost, things like that. And then you would paste your description or type your description here and click publish. Or you could save it as a draft if you want to come back to it. So I'm going to return. We don't need to save this event because it's not real, but that's how you would. So let's go to events here, make sure it didn't save. And that's how you would add and adjust events. If you run into any questions, let us know, but I think pretty simple, pretty intuitive there. You can delete them here as well if you want by clicking trash, and then they'll end up in this trash folder. Next up is the media library. This is where all of your images, PDFs, Word docs are housed. So you can add media here by clicking add new and dragging or selecting files, or you pretty much wherever you would need to add a media file, you will have the option to do it. You don't necessarily have to come here, but I just wanted to show it to you. Each file also is associated with its own URL. So for each image, there's a URL that's associated with it that will take you to this main image. And the same goes for documents. So for instance, this looks like it's a sermon outline PDF. So I'll copy the URL, and you'll want to use this in different places on the site so that you can populate the sermon outline in certain places. You may need to use that, you may not, but I just like to point out that each item has a URL. And then each image can be edited, so you can click edit image and you can crop, you can rotate, all of those things if you need to. I don't typically see that that's necessary very often, but I just wanted to show you that that is possible. Moving on down, there's forms on your site, and there's a couple things here worth mentioning. So let's click on plan your visit. Under plan your visit, you'll see all these different fields on the form. You'll see settings and entries. So under settings, we can look at notifications, and under entries, we can see all of the form entries that have come in. And so this looks like our test form entry. You can see it there. And so this is where all of your entries will come in, and you can view them here. So you can click on them either by clicking view here or by clicking the person's name, and it'll take you to the full form entry and you can read it. This should also, of course, be in your inbox, but you can find them here if you need. And then your notifications is important because this is the email that is receiving the notifications when the forms are submitted. So it looks like it's going to this web admin email. And so you can make sure that that's correct. If you ever create a new form, this is where you would do that. And then the from email just needs to have the same domain or the same URL as your site. We just use no reply typically, but you can use anything you want. So let's go back to the form. When we click edit, if you want to adjust any of these fields, basically you click on the field and you can change the label of it. You can make it required or not. email address. You can add additional fields by clicking add fields and then find whatever fields you want and then drag them wherever you would want them to go on the form and then click save. Let's see if the other form has anything different in it. The prayer form, same idea. You can view your entries, you can view the notifications. I've got my name field, I can change the label, I can make it required if I want. I can add additional fields. Then once it's added, it's going to say Untitled. I'll click on it. I can adjust the label. And if I want to delete it, I can delete it. And then anytime I make any changes, I click Save up here. So one thing to note, if you want to create new forms, we do recommend this plugin. It works really well. You can create like a VBS sign up or things like that. A lot of our churches use the form signups for lots of different functions. So if you click New Form, I'm going to leave. We don't want to save our changes. It's going to pull up a bunch of templates, which is actually really helpful. So you can use simple contact form, advanced contact form, contest entry, checkout, e-commerce, donation. There's all different kinds of webinar, user registration. There's all different kinds of forms, or you can just create a blank one. If you click a blank one, you'll put in a title, create blank form, and then you'll just, let's go ahead and just do it so you can see. Start adding fields over to the form like we did earlier. So you would just add them. Oops, my computer's slowing down here for a second. It's been freezing up a little bit today. So basically you should be able to click and drag items over here, but it's not working for me only because my computer and internet is going slow. So let's click save and see if I refresh the page if it'll work again. There we go. So then drop down, if I want to edit the choices within the drop down, I'll click edit choices and then you can edit these, so on and so forth. And you can create your form from scratch without using one of the templates if that's easier. So I'll go ahead and leave, and then I'm going to go back over to forms and I'm going to delete this. So hit trash and it will show up in the trash folder over here. And from here you can either restore or delete permanently. I'm going to delete it because we don't want this. Okay, moving on down. The next thing is pages. So this is going to house all the pages on your site, including your homepage. So let's go ahead and have the homepage open so we can look at what's going on. And then also I'm going to click on the homepage within here so that we can start editing it. Okay, so what you'll see is that there's different little sections within the home page, and each will house one of these different sections on the site. So let's start with this top section right here. This is not going to be edited on the home page. This is the header of your site. It actually appears on every page, not just the home page, and that's going to be edited elsewhere. So this image and this wording is going to be edited way down at the bottom on the right hand side. So I can change this content here by typing whatever I want and adjusting the copy. I can type in something new here. I can change the size of it, bold, italics, all of that if you want to adjust that. And I can change out the featured image here by clicking it, and I can either upload a new image or select one that's already in the library, and then I would click set featured image if I wanted to change it. So that's how you would edit that. Anytime you make changes to a page or to anything on the site, just be sure to click update. But I don't want to adjust that or edit that, so I'm going to kind of leave it alone. The quick links is going to be the first section underneath this section. So we saw how to edit this. So this is the copy and then the quick links that are on that section. So here is where you've got a little bit of copy. You can adjust this. This is basically like a Microsoft Word document. So I can type anything here, and I can change the size of the text. I can change the hyperlink if I want to change these buttons. And then you've got these different images with the growth groups and the links and all of that. This can all be edited as well. So basically you can add additional quick links if you want. I can remove this if I want. If I want to edit the link, I'll click edit and I'll paste a new link here. Or I can remove it if the link is, if I don't want to use it. I don't see that coming up or happening. And then if you want to change out the picture, I would just click remove and then click add image, and you'd add a new image there. And again, you can just type in these sections, and then underneath that is the sermons section, and this is just using a short code. So we'll actually adjust this over here under sermons. That's where the sermons are actually added. So nothing needs to be adjusted here. And then in this button row, you can see these different buttons. You can see the text, you can see the link, and that's pretty much all you have to add there. So you can add additional buttons if you want. You would just click here and add different text, and then select a link or paste a URL there. So I'm going to refresh this page. I don't want to save any of these. So that's how you edit everything that's on this homepage. If you wanted to add additional sections to the homepage, you could do so. So let's say you wanted to add a section underneath here. Add content section. You can type whatever you want there. You can, align it different ways. You can make it bigger. And then if I wanted to create a hyperlink, then I can add a link here. I can pick a different page within the site or a sermon link, add the link, and then I can format it as a button. So let's update. Let's see what the homepage looks like when I do that. Hope it didn't catch up. It's still going. Let's refresh and see if it's there now. There you go. There's our new section. So another thing that you can do is add images in the background like this section here has. So I'll show you how to do that as well, because it's going to be the same for every single page. So background, add an image. And then I can add a color overlay over it if I want, make it a little opaque, and then we'll click update, and then we'll see the page. Oop, it didn't go again. There we go. My computer's just slow. It did it correctly. Let's see if it'll refresh. There you go. And we can also make that text white to make it pop a little bit more. So let's see. We'll make this white text. Just some slow internet today. And then let's see. There you go. And it looks a little better. So let's go ahead and delete that page section because we don't need it. And click update. So we'll move on down. We're not using this calendars plugin. We're using this events plugin. So we'll skip over that. And then to sermons, this is where you'll add and update sermons. It's pretty intuitive. You'll just click add new. Let me see. Looks like someone added a sermon yesterday. So you might already know how to do this, but you can click add new. You put your title here, add your preacher here. Date preached, service type, Bible passage. You can add the location of the MP3. You upload it here. And you can add a sermon note here as well. If you want, you'll upload it and it'll be in the media library, and you'll just click publish. Next up, on appearance, we've got widgets and menus that are both important. Under widgets, this is where the header and footer of the site information are added. So in the header, you've got your logo, you've got menu, but you don't actually edit the menu here. You'll edit the menu here. And then let's see, in the footer, we've got contact us, which has the map and the service times. So if you need to edit these service times, this is where that's located. And you'll just edit it like how we typed in the other sections that we've shown. and then click save once it's edited appropriately. So then you'll go to menus if you want to make any menu adjustments, and you can edit the label. If you create a new page over here, you can click it, click add to menu, and it's going to show up at the bottom, and then you can drag it wherever you want, make it a sub menu. You can adjust the label, click save when you make any changes. You can also add a custom link. You can add a link to whatever and then just give it a label here, click add to menu, and then drag it wherever you want, and you'll click save once you've made those changes. Under plugins, these are plugins we use on the site that help build the site. If you want to add additional ones, you can ask us any questions about that you might have. Under users, this is where you can edit your password, so you can change the password out for your account here if you'd like. You can also add new users and set them up to be admins if you so desire. Moving on down, we're going to skip over some of these things because they're not a part of things that you need to edit. They're just kind of a part of the site. I think actually the last thing that we need to look at is this easy accordion. This is what creates those accordions on a lot of these pages. So you can click into any of these accordions and edit them here. So you can see there's the title and then what's within them. And again, it's using that same type of editor. So looks the same as the other ways. If you want to create, let's see, you can duplicate one that's already here and then it'll look the same. It'll have that same blue hue and it'll look exactly the same. So that might be the best route to go if you want to make new accordions, is just duplicate one that's already here and just start filling them in that way. And then this is where you would go to edit them. So let's make sure that's pretty much everything you need to know. Let me go back into the pages and just make sure you know how to add a new page if you were wanting to add a new page, or make sure I didn't miss anything that you might want to update on the pages. So let's see. So again, the page editors are going to look very similar. Let's go ahead and look at discipleship groups. These page editors are going to look the same as the home page, and they're going to have these different sections. And you can collapse and decollapse them by clicking on the blue part. This is that copy that you can edit. You can either paste something directly here from a Word document, or you can type right in here. Again, you can bullet, italicize, bold, align differently. You can hyperlink things. And then in this section, you've got the accordion. So there's let's go back to I'll open this in another tab so we can see it. If you create a new accordion for a different page, you'll just grab this code, copy it, and then paste it here, and that's how it will load on that page. So let's go to add a new page. Let's say, let me see what this discipleship groups page looked like, and we can make one that looks similar. So let's make a page that looks pretty similar to this one. So I'm going to use this page as a template and kind of do exactly what I see and just show you how I would do it if I was creating a new page. So we'll click new page, add content section, standard page section. So we want to just put some copy here. So I'll just copy this, paste it here. We'll just do the exact same copy and just see. Okay, so let's look at the background of this section. There's no background image, but there is a background color. So let's go ahead and copy this color code and add it to the background of this section so that we make sure it looks the same. And then we want to add a content section, a standard page section, because we have a second section here, standard page section, and we want to add this accordion. So we've got to go get our short code from the accordion and paste it there. And we want to go ahead and center everything. And then let's see on this page, just a white background. So let's go ahead and publish this page and see how it looks. looks pretty similar. Of course, this is a little bit bigger font on this page, but you can see it looks pretty similar. So let's go ahead and add another section just for the sake of it, standard page section. And let's do a picture in the background. Let's remember how we did that, I think. So we'll grab this. We want to put a color overlay over it. Let's do like a dark blue. And let's put some white text here. Let's make it big, white, and then let's add a button. We want to make sure it's linked appropriately, so let's just do something like that. We'll center it. Button. Click update, and then let's see how the page looks. Still loading, still loading. There you go. There's your page section. So that's how you add those page sections. And if I wanted to add this to the menu, remember we just go back to Appearance, Menus, and this new page is going to show up there. And I can add it to the menu, and I can just drag it wherever I want it to go. So let's go ahead and remove that, and then we want to go to this. Let's go back to Pages. We don't want to save our changes. And we'll delete this page because we don't need it. And again, there's the trash folder where we can delete it permanently or restore. We'll delete it permanently because we don't need it. And then anytime I make changes, just to make sure that the changes stick and don't cache for other users, you can go to WP Rocket, clear and preload cache, and it doesn't do anything on your end, but it'll make it so that the users of your site can see the updated changes that you've made. So that should get you started. That should help you make most of the changes that you need to make, if not all. So if you run into questions and you need help with anything else, please let us know. But I think that should really give you a good amount of information. Again, reach out if you have any questions, and yeah, hopefully you've got some good tips here.